Hello everyone. Today I will talk about the transportation in human beings of class 10th. Watch the video properly and note down the important points in your notebook. In human beings and all other complex animals, circulatory system is associated with transportation of substances in the body. Circulatory system performs the different functions in the human body like distribution of oxygen to different body cells, removal of carbon dioxide from the tissues and its transport to lungs, transport of digested food from intestine to body cells, transport of nitrogenous waste from body cells to kidneys for removal from the body, protection against invading pathogens, healing of wound by clotting of bloods. Components of circulatory system. Human circulatory system consists of these three components. First of all, circulating medium to carry food, oxygen and other substances. It comprises blood, lymph or tissue fluid. A system of tubes to transport the body fluids, the blood vessels and lymph vessels. A pumping organ to pump blood through these vessels, and this pumping organ is called heart. Heart, the pumping organ. Heart is a muscular pumping organ of the size of a fist. It is situated almost in the middle of the chest between the two lungs. Its lower conical end is tilted to the left. That is why we can feel this heart on the left side of our chest. It is enclosed in a bony cage formed of chest wall, ribs, backbone and breastbone. Heart is enclosed in a sac called pericardium, formed of two pericardial membranes. The pericardial fluid present between the two pericardial membranes protect heart from injury and friction. Parts of heart chambers. We all know that human heart is four-chambered, having two auricles and two ventricles. On the upper side, auricles present, lower side, ventricles. The auricles are demarcated from ventricles by an irregular groove, the coronary sulcus, that can be seen from the external surface. Auricles, these are also known as atria. Singular is atrium, auricle or atrium. The two thin-walled auricles are separated by interauricular septum. The right auricle receives deoxygenated blood from the body by two large vessels, vena cava. The left auricle receives oxygenated blood from lungs by two pairs of pulmonary veins. Ventricles. The two thick-walled ventricles are separated by a thick oblique interventricular septum. The left ventricle is large and its walls are thicker than the right ventricle. The right ventricle supplies deoxygenated blood to lungs through pulmonary aorta. The left ventricle supplies oxygenated blood to the entire body by a single dorsal aorta, and this dorsal aorta is the largest blood vessel in the body. Internal structure of heart. Here we can see the different structure. Four chambers are there, two auricles and two ventricles. Right auricle, right ventricle, right auricle, left auricle, right ventricle, left ventricle. Now this right auricle opens into the right ventricle through a valve known as tricuspid valve, and left auricle opens into left ventricle through a valve called bicuspid valve or mitral valve. Now, in the right auricle, the deoxygenated blood that comes to the right auricle through the vena cava, this is superior vena cava, brings the blood from the upper part of the body, and this is inferior vena cava, brings the blood from the lower part of the body. And here is given 4 pulmonary veins which brings the oxygenated blood from lungs to the left auricle. Then this is having a very thick interventricular septum, and this is interauricular septum separating 2 auricles and separating 2 ventricles. Now here is in the right, from the right ventricle, here is this is pulmonary aorta, which bring the deoxygenated blood through pulmonary artery to the right and left lung. And from the left ventricle, this is dorsal aorta, it arises from this left ventricle and supplies blood to various parts of the body. Parts of heart, valves, cuspid valves. Each atrium opens into the ventricle of its side by an atrioventricular aperture, which is guarded by a cuspid valve. A bicuspid valve, or also known as mitral valve, guards the left atrioventricular aperture and allows blood to flow from left auricle to left ventricle. A tricuspid valve guards the right atrioventricular aperture and allows blood from right auricle to right ventricle. Semilunar valves. Semilunar valves are half moon shaped valves. These are half moon shaped flaps. 3 semilunar pulmonary valves guards the opening of right ventricle into the pulmonary aorta to prevent the backflow of blood into the ventricle. 3 semilunar aortic valves guard opening of left ventricle into aorta. Coronary arteries. A pair of coronary arteries arising from the base of aorta supply oxygenated blood to the heart muscles itself. A series of coronary veins collect blood from the heart muscles and join to form coronary sinus, which opens into the right atrium. Working of heart. In mammalian heart or in human heart, oxygenated and deoxygenated blood completely separate in left and right half respectively. Left half is having oxygenated blood and right half is having deoxygenated blood. The deoxygenated blood from the entire body is brought to the right atrium. The oxygenated blood from lungs is brought to the left atrium by 4 pulmonary veins. The 2 atria contract and push blood into respective ventricles through bicuspid and tricuspid valves. The 2 ventricles contract simultaneously. From right ventricle, deoxygenated blood is pumped into pulmonary aorta and is carried to lungs by pulmonary arteries. Presence of cuspid valves on the atrioventricular aperture prevent the backflow of blood into atria. From left ventricle, oxygenated blood enters aorta. It distributes blood to all parts of the body except the lungs. Flow of blood in the heart. Here we can see that flow of how this heart works or how the blood flows in the heart. Here we can see superior and inferior vena cava, which opens into right atrium and brings deoxygenated blood into this right atrium. Here these are pulmonary veins which bring the oxygenated blood into the auricles. These auricles are having thinner walls as compared to ventricles. When both these chambers they get filled and contract simultaneously, then the blood from right atrium comes to the right ventricle through the tricuspid wall. Blood from the left auricle comes to the left ventricle through bicuspid wall. Now these walls they get closed. Now when the ventricles contract, these two ventricles contract simultaneously, then this blood cannot go back to the atrium due to this cuspid wall. It will enter into semilunar walls of dorsal aorta and pulmonary aorta. Through the pulmonary aorta, it goes to the deoxygenated blood goes to the right and left lung through pulmonary artery for oxygenation, and through dorsal aorta, oxygenated blood that enters into dorsal aorta and goes to different body parts for their distribution. Types of blood circulation in different organisms. Mammals and birds. In mammals and birds, separation of deoxygenated and oxygenated blood results into two independent circulations. Pulmonary circulation, that is for the oxygenation of deoxygenated blood from heart to lungs, that is called pulmonary circulation. Systemic circulation, for the supply of oxygenated blood to all body parts, or means from heart to all body parts. And due to these two circulations in mammals and birds, they are having double circulation of blood. It means in one cardiac cycle, or to complete one cardiac cycles, they are having two circulations, pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation. These two circulation complete the double circulation of blood. Such a supply is useful for animals which have high rate of metabolism to fulfill their energy need and for maintaining constant body temperature. Amphibians and reptiles. Amphibians and reptiles, they have three-chambered heart. Means two auricles, they are completely separated from each other, but ventricle is not having the separation. And some mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood occurs. Fish. Fishes have two-chambered heart or venous heart. It receives only deoxygenated blood which is pumped into gills for oxygenation and then is directly passed to the body parts. Cardiac cycle and heartbeat. Fishes have single circulation as the blood that comes once in the heart, while mammals have double circulation of blood, means having two circulation. The blood has to enter the heart two times to complete one cycle. A heartbeat includes one systole followed by one diastole and complete one cardiac cycle. Systole is the contraction of ventricles and diastole, that is relaxation. The total duration of a cardiac cycle is 0.8 seconds and heart beats 72 times per minute. Blood pressure. What is blood pressure? Pressure exerted by the blood discharge due to contraction of left ventricle on the wall of blood vessels is called blood pressure. Systolic pressure. Systolic pressure exerted during ventricular contraction, and it is about 120 mm of mercury in a normal person. Diastolic pressure. Diastolic pressure exerted during relaxation of ventricle. It is about 80 mm of mercury in a normal person. How to measure blood pressure? Blood pressure is measured with an instrument called sphygmomanometer. The sound of blood flow can be heard through a stethoscope. A lub-dub sound can be heard through stethoscope. Double circulation of blood. Now how it is double circulation and how the blood enters into heart two times. One time on the right side, the deoxygenated blood comes right atrium, then right ventricle, and goes to the pulmonary aorta or to the lungs for oxygenation, and then comes back to left auricle through pulmonary vein. This is known as one circulation called pulmonary circulation. Now this oxygenated blood from the left ventricle through dorsal aorta goes to different system or body cells. This is called systemic circulation and comes back to right atrium. So due to presence of these two circulation, pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation, this is called double circulation of blood. Blood vessels. There are different types of blood vessels in the circulatory system of human body. These are arteries, veins, and capillaries. Arteries. Arteries are distributing vessels which carry oxygenated blood except pulmonary artery from heart to various body organs. Arteries have thick, elastic, muscular wall and narrow lumen without valves. Blood flows in them under a certain pressure with jerks. Arteries are deeply seated, cannot be seen from the surface or through the skin. Veins. Veins are collecting vessels which carry deoxygenated blood except pulmonary vein from different body parts to the heart. Veins have thin, less muscular wall and wide lumen with pocket-shaped walls to prevent backflow of blood. Blood flows in them smoothly under low pressure. Veins are superficially situated and can be seen in bluish or greenish color from the surface of skin. Capillaries. Capillaries are microscopic vessels, means very thin. They are thinner than our hair and make link between artery and vein. These carry blood from arterioles to small venules or veins. Differences between arteries and veins. Arteries are deep-seated and cannot be seen from the surface of the body or through the skin, while veins are superficial in position and can be seen from the surface of the body or skin. Arteries are thick, muscular and elastic. Veins are thin, less muscular and less elastic. They have narrow lumen. Arteries have narrow lumen while veins have wide lumen. In arteries, lumen is not provided with valves. In veins, lumen is provided with valves to prevent backward flow of blood. Arteries carry oxygenated blood from heart to body parts except pulmonary artery. Veins carry deoxygenated blood from body parts to heart. In arteries, blood flows under high pressure with jerks. In veins, blood flows smoothly with low pressure. Blood. Third component, blood, the circulatory medium. Blood is red colored fluid connective tissue. Three types of blood cells or corpuscles are suspended in the fluid matrix plasma. Plasma. Plasma is pale yellow fluid matrix of blood having 90 to 92% of water and 10%, about 10% other substances such as proteins, nutrients, respiratory gases, excretory substances, enzymes, hormones, etc. Blood corpuscles. Blood corpuscles are cellular elements of blood. They form 45% of blood and are of three types. Oxygen transporting red blood cells. These are also called erythrocytes. Disease fighting white blood cells. Blood clotting or blood platelets. Functions. Transport of oxygen and carbon dioxide by RBCs or erythrocytes from lungs to different cells or tissues and vice versa. Defense against diseases by white blood cells. These are also called leukocytes. They produce certain antibodies to fight against bacteria. Blood clotting by blood platelets. Blood platelets, they are also known as thrombocytes, help in preventing the excessive blood loss from the injured part of the body. Lymphatic system. Components of lymphatic system are lymph, that is also known as extracellular fluid, lymph vessels and lymph nodes. Lymph. Lymph is formed when blood flows through capillaries from the arterial end to its venous end. Its fluid plasma filters out of the thin-walled capillaries at the arterial end. It facilitates exchange between blood and body cells by diffusion and is also called interstitial fluid or tissue fluid. Most of the fluid, or about 90%, is reabsorbed into the capillaries at the venous end to maintain this blood volume. Rest 10% form tissue fluid. Lymph vessels. Lymph vessels or lymphatics have valves to maintain flow of lymph towards vena cava. Lymph nodes. Lymph nodes are formed of lymphatic tissue. These are the sites of lymphocyte maturations. Thymus and spleen are lymphatic organs. Tonsils and adenoids are masses of lymphatic tissue. Here we can see the relationship between blood, tissue fluid and lymph. The blood, it flows through the capillaries. This is the arterial end, this is the venous end. And under high pressure it flows through this blood capillaries and at low pressure towards the venous end. And some amount of this fluid that comes out in the form of tissue fluid and baths all the cells of the tissue. Now, a part of it that is absorbed by the cells or tissues and remaining which left called interstitial tissue, interstitial fluid or lymph, extracellular fluid, it will enter into the lymphatic vessel. Lymphatic vessel, they are having blind ends, and in this the blood flows only in one direction. They are having unidirectional flow, means from the tissue only towards the heart. Functions of lymph. Lymph acts as a middleman between blood and tissue fluid. It carries out following functions. Lymph absorbs fatty acids and glycerol in the villi of intestine through lacteals. Its lymphocytes destroy harmful pathogens. It helps in the distribution of nutrients and oxygen to tissue cells. It helps in the removal of nitrogenous waste and carbon dioxide from tissue cells and pass them to the blood. It carries lymphocytes and antibodies from lymph node to the blood. Thanks.